nervous as I always am. Yeah, yeah. But other than that, okay. Yes, I'm always nervous. It doesn't go away. 25 years I've been doing this, it doesn't go away. It's not quite as severe as it was in the beginning, but it's always there. And, I think it's because it's important. I want it to be meaningful. I want it to be helpful. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't go away. Yeah, yeah. One of my parishioners in Phoenix told me that Laurence Olivier would throw up before every performance, and that made me feel better. Because I thought, okay, just because the nerves don't go away doesn't mean you're not, good at what you're doing or you're not doing it right. Yeah, because it's just part of the process sometimes.
Good morning. Welcome to All Souls, where love is the spirit of our community. Whether you're joining us in person or online, in the present or catching up later, please know that you matter to this community. In this time of great division, may you find hope, love, and community here. Now please rise in body or spirit to greet your neighbor with your name and pronouns. And folks online, please introduce yourselves in the chat.
Hi, good morning. I'm Susan. Ellen, really nice to meet you. Susan Frederick-Gray. I also use she pronouns. Thank you. Thank you. Thrilled to be here this morning. Good morning. I'm Susan. Hi, Teresa. I use she pronouns. Great. Yeah. Really nice to meet you. Are you a member here? Visitor? Okay, great. I'm thrilled to be here this morning. Good to be here. Hello, good morning. I'm Susan. Hi, Joe. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, glad to be here today. Oh my goodness. Look at you. Aren't you a cutie? He does look so dapper. It's nice to meet your parent as well. I'm Susan. James, nice to meet you. I use she, her pronouns. Hi, August. Hi there. Hi. It's nice to see you. I hope you enjoy the service today. Yeah, enjoy the music. You got it? Okay. Nice to meet you. Hi, Ed. I'm Susan. Nice to meet you. Good morning, Alan. I'm Susan. So nice to see you.
Hi, I am Austin Mitchell. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be serving as worship associate for today's service. Together with Nancy Olson, our Director of Congregational Life and Faith Formation, the Reverend Susan Frederick-Gray, our guest minister, whose pronouns are she, her, and Liz Elsmore, Music Director, also with she, her pronouns. We are your worship team on the chancel today. We extend a warm and joyful welcome to people of all ages. If you have little ones with you, nursery care is available for your convenience. We also invite everyone to connect with us by filling out a connection card. You can complete a physical card in the pews and place it in the offering basket later, or you can fill out a digital connection card by scanning the QR code located right outside the sanctuary. This is a fantastic way to let us know how we can support you or share any interests, comments, or concerns you may have. And now we've got an announcement from Reverend Dorian, and after that, an announcement from Ellen Mathia.
Good morning. Today at 11:45 upstairs on the 3rd floor, I'm going to lead a conversation about radical welcoming. This will be a chance to learn a little bit about what radical welcoming is, learn about what All Souls is doing, and learn about easy ways that you can get connected to that work. Part of this is that I really want to pass on knowledge that I've learned here before I leave all of you. And so this will be a great opportunity to learn what I've learned over the past few years.
I don't like hearing about Reverend Dorian leaving, but I'll be there today. Hi, I'm Ellen Mathia, and I'm here to talk to you about our stewardship campaign. Our annual campaign, stewardship, is one that sustains what we're doing. I do want to congratulate and thank everyone. The Capital Campaign, we're just coming off. It is not an annual event, as you know. It's for special purposes, and it was very successful. And we will be excited to see it being fulfilled in the future. So thank you. Thank all of you for what you contributed. Now, the stewardship campaign is going to be a little ambitious too, because we have a year full of challenges ahead, no question about it, external and internal. We also have hopes, dreams, and goals for this year in every area of our ministry. We will be having, in order to acquaint you with this and also get your feedback, we'll be having a series of 4 town hall meetings over the next 3 months. The first one will be this next coming Sunday. It'll be a Zoom in the evening at 6:30. You'll be getting information about that and all the others too coming up, okay? Each step of these serves a purpose that explains to you more about our budget for the coming year, fiscal year 2026-2027, which starts in July. And you'll be getting information about current and future needs, and our plans for the future. And this theme for this year is sustaining the covenant. I mean, we have reached goals in so many ways. Now we want to sustain our covenant and the mission that we want to fulfill. We're ready to do this and to meet the challenges, but we also want to emphasize too that you give what you can, and part of that is volunteer work. We have so many opportunities to take your personal talents and abilities and plug into opportunities to do so many things here at All Souls. So it's not just a matter of funding, it's everything else. And I want to say one thing personally, too, that occurred to me. You make a commitment when you give to this church in trying to in sustaining our covenant. And I feel that the church then should be and is, I hope, making a commitment to you and honoring your gift. And saying, yes, we not only recognize and thank you for that, but we have a commitment to you as well, as a member of the congregation or a visitor, as a participant. So that is important. It's a two-way street. Just the first letter we sent out this last week raised $15,000 already, which is pretty wonderful for the first week, and this will continue for the next several months. So thank you, and I look forward to working with you about that and helping us meet the challenges this year. It is going to be a fun, exciting, challenging, crazy year, but isn't it always here at All Souls? That's what we're about. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to give a proper introduction to our guest today. Reverend Susan is a lifelong Unitarian Universalist from St. Louis, Missouri, and currently serves as the leader of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bloomington, Indiana. Susan's theological and spiritual life has been shaped by her background in molecular biology and her time at Harvard Divinity School and many years of ministry and justice organizing in Nashville, Tennessee, Youngstown, Ohio, Phoenix, Arizona, and as president of the Unitarian Universal Association. She believes in the core and connected work of nurturing vital religious community and courageous organizing for justice and democracy. These have been foundations throughout her various ministries. Reverend Susan is also grounded in a deep pastoral ministry, knowing that our power as individuals and communities grows from a deep place of care and compassion. So thank you for being with us today. And now, as we begin our time together, we acknowledge the land itself and those who have sustained it throughout the generations. We are upon the unceded land of the Lenape, Miamia, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people who were pushed from their land and whose children have been stolen for generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make real reparations.
Amen. Thank you, Austin. It is just a joy to be here with all of you. Our call to worship are words by the Reverend Kim Mason, who serves as minister of First UU Church in St. Louis. She writes, "Once upon a time, chemists believed they could transform lead into gold or death into life. We laugh, but are we not also in the business of alchemy, turning loneliness into connection, pain into comfort, anger into solidarity, faith into action? The subtle magic of church combines love with justice, creates hope out of fear, transforms individuals into community. Here we engage in a holy alchemy, finding beauty in the ordinary and life in the present. Come, let us be transformed together."
Thank you, Reverend Susan and Austin. Good morning. Elena and Ada are going to light our chalice this morning. You know, I forget. I don't have my Madonna mic. You know, when the world just sometimes feels so overwhelming and we just don't know what we're going to do or how to feel, we come together. We come together, and at this time, one thing we like to do is to remember our values, our promises that we make to each other, because it is through, as you have already heard today and will continue to hear, it's these connections that we make with each other, with our faith, that help us stay steady and be strong. So, if you would rise in body or spirit. For those of you online, you know we love to know where you are lighting your chalice from. And we'd like to say the words in Spanish first and then in English. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, kiddos. I'd like to invite the children up. You know, sometimes we do this. We invite you up to come to the steps. Come on up. Rev Susan has a story she'd like to share with you, and she'd probably like a little company up here.
Yeah.
Elena,
Anybody wants
Ada,
to come help
Ian.
unwrap
Let's
this?
get the babes. Come on up.
Yeah. So I have something to share with you today that Nancy helped me find. And if you want to gather around, let's see, I could use 2 helpers. Do you think you could unwrap that? What do you think's inside? Anyone have a guess about what's inside? It's a mystery, huh? A rock, okay. That's a good guess. You think it's a flower? That's also a good guess. All right, let's unwrap it and see what is in this basket. Ooh, you know what that is? A heart. That's right. A heart. You want to pick it up? You can pass it around, but show it to the congregation. Show it so everybody can see it, right? And it's kind of heavy, right? It's a weighted heart. Yeah, you can pass that around. When you see a heart, what does it mean to you? What does it signify? What do you think? What does a heart mean to you? Love. That's right. What else? Anything else? It's love. Life. That was the second thing, right? A heart is part of our life beat. Helps with our lungs, move our blood through our bodies. It's a powerful thing, a powerful muscle, the heart. And it's the symbol we use to talk about love. Well, today in my sermon, in my reflection, I'm going to talk about love with the congregation, but also courage. What's courage? Who knows what courage is? Yeah, what's courage? Brave is another word for courage, yeah. Anyone else to add? What do you think courage means?
It's like facing things that you're scared of but doing it anyways.
Yeah, facing things you're scared of and doing it anyway. Well, one of the things I want to share about courage is that the word courage, it actually comes from a French word, cœur, which means heart. That's right. So the word courage is actually rooted in the word for heart. And that reminds me that courage isn't just doing something you're afraid of. Courage is really about heart strength. It means doing something that you know is right. It means standing up for the things you love. It means standing up for your friends if you see them getting bullied. Courage is doing a hard thing, even when you're scared, but especially when it's rooted in the things you love and the values you hold dear. So I think about courage as the strength of the heart strength. And I hope, as you use, I think we all try to live courageous love in our lives, to hold both love and justice and courage together in how we live and in our communities. So I share that with you in hopes that you all continue to grow in your courage and in your love. Yeah. And I hope you have a great time in Sunday school class today. Yeah, Nancy is going to lead you out, yes? Okay. All right, have fun today. It is so nice to be with your church today. Thank you for welcoming me.
Celebration, and rise as you're able and join us.
Where we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through, with thanksgiving we'll be a living sanctuary anew. Make us aware we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through, with thanksgiving we'll be a living sanctuary anew. Make us aware we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved revolved right through with thanksgiving will be a living sanctuary anew.
Please join me in taking a few moments to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. And together we'll hold a moment of silence for the joys and sorrows in our hearts that are yet unnamed.
I want to recognize and name the rupture in our global world over the weekend with our nation and Israel beginning a war with Iran. Recognizing that many have already died and that there are bombs going off throughout the Middle East. I saw news just this morning that several U.S. American service people were killed. Children have been killed in Iran. Residential places have been bombed across the Middle East. I want to take a moment and just invite us to be present to the fear and the heartache and the worry that is present across our world and in our own hearts and in our own country in this moment. In my own community at the UU congregation in Bloomington, we've been praying for the freedom fighters in Iran. And I think we don't know whether this war helps the freedom fighters or not. So much is unknown, but what we know is that people's lives will be lost. We take a moment just to open our hearts in a prayer for peace. A prayer that may feel frail at this moment, but I continue to pray for restraint on the part of our leaders. Pray for peace and freedom for all people in all lands. May we continue to find ways to work for peace, even when it seems far away, to keep nurturing the ground for more peace, more love, more freedom, and more justice in our world. May it be so. Blessed be and amen. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. We have a change in our order of service. I really wanted to sing hymn number 159. This is my song, one of our beloved UU hymns and prayers for peace.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true as high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are
Hello, All Souls, UU of Indy. It is so good to be with you. I've had the privilege of being in your sanctuary and in your congregation a number of times. The first time, I think, was in 2016 when I was running for UUA president, and I got the chance to meet with some of your leaders in that process as I was traveling across the country. And then more recently, Reverend Katie, your minister, Reverend Nick Cable, who's the minister of the UU congregation in Columbus, Indiana, and myself have been working to try to build stronger relationships across our UU congregations in Indiana. We've had 2 meetings so far, and a third is planned, bringing all of our staff teams together so that we can learn from each other, support each other in our professional growth, and to share ideas and learnings for our ministries. And as a part of that, Reverend Katie and Reverend Nick and I decided to do a series of pulpit swaps this year. So we would each take a turn preaching in the other's pulpit. And so it is such a gift to be with you. Reverend Katie is probably just finishing up the first service in Bloomington and getting ready for the second. I believe that if Unitarian Universalism is stronger in Indiana, that is good for our whole state. And so we're really working on ways that we can strengthen our congregations across the state and build stronger partnership for the work we're called to do in these difficult, heartbreaking, and dangerous times. I know the life-saving power of Unitarian Universalism. I know the difference that our congregations can make in our communities and in the lives of our children, adults, and elders. And I want to start by sharing my own story about how this faith saved my life. When I was little, my family was going through a lot of turmoil. There were a lot of reasons for it. One, I was born in the midst of the women's movement, and my mom got really active in the ERA, Equal Rights Amendment work, and my parents had to completely renegotiate their marriage and the expectations, and it was really hard, and they almost didn't make it through. They did in the end, and I'm so grateful for that, but when I was a little kid, my house was full of difficulty, and it really felt precarious, and that was hard as a young child. But I have other memories from my young life, including growing up at Elliott Chapel Unitarian in Kirkwood, Missouri, and in particular my kindergarten Sunday school class, and the feeling of warmth and joy and care that just surrounded me in that space. This experience profoundly changed the course of my life. It didn't change the challenges I was experiencing, but it offered 2 other incredible life-saving gifts. First, it simply offered a reprieve from the difficulties at home. The RE teachers, Tim and BJ, were a married couple, and I remember that Tim would play guitar and BJ would sing, and I really have these memories, kindergarten, of dancing around, singing, joy. It was so joyful, so nourishing. It was 1 hour, once a week, for a few months in my life, but that joy stayed with me. I wrapped it around like a blanket. It was like a sanctuary for my heart and spirit. And second, Tim and BJ were this married couple who clearly loved each other and liked each other. And that experience showed me that something else was possible in a family, in a life, that something else was possible for me. And that seed of possibility, I couldn't know it at the time, but it truly did shape my life and save my life. It helped put me on a course that eventually led to this call to ministry, my love for this faith, and the life-saving power that I know that our UU religious communities can have. So many of us, maybe each one of us, at least some time in our life, needs a reprieve from the challenges we experience. needs a reminder that beauty and joy is present, is possible in our lives and in our world. Maybe just a moment to feel love and care in the midst of everything else, much of which we can't control in our lives. There's a poem that has been speaking to me profoundly these past few months. It's by the poet Rosemary Watola Traumer. This is called In a Dangerous Time. She writes, I think of the bones of the unsung rib cage, the way they protect the heart, how bone too is living, how it constantly renews and remakes itself. I think of how ribs engage with other ribs to expand, to contract, and because they do their solid work, they allow the heart to float. This is what I want to do, to be a rib in this body of our country, to make a safe space for love. There is so much now that needs protection. I want to be that flexible, that committed to what's vital, that unwilling to yield. What a powerful image for the work we are called to do as UU congregations. For these are dangerous times. And I don't want to go through the whole litany of threats. You know them, there are many. I want to name a few, which is just that the fundamental pillars of our pluralistic democratic republic are being systematically dismantled. Our constitutional right to free speech and free expression is under attack. The rule of law and separation of powers, which are critical guards against corruption and authoritarianism, are being shredded. Freedom and liberty at the most basic level is being taken from us. As we see people disappeared off our streets, arrested without warrant or cause, as we see dollars consistently get cut from social services while endless amounts of dollars flow into building warehouses to house people, prisons, militarization in our own country and around the world. In this moment, there is so much to resist, and there is so much to protect, and there is so much possibility and imagination that we need to continue to feed. UU religious communities, like all religious communities, are critically important in this moment. Because you know what? We're not funded by the government. We're not dependent on the government. We fund ourselves. You all fund yourself just as our congregation in Bloomington funds ourselves through our pledges. We make our communities strong. And because of this independence, and because this independence from interference by the government is protected by our Constitution, we must valiantly cherish that independence, defend it, and invest in our communities to be a strong force against the cruelty and authoritarianism that is happening. Not only are we independent as a religious community, but we are also a community whose core religious values call us to love one another. They call us to celebrate justice, equity, diversity, and pluralism, values that right now are under attack. In the midst of vicious attacks against communities of color, LGBTQ people, immigrants, those who are disabled and living in poverty, our commitment as UUs to the inherent dignity and worthiness of each and every person matters. It matters that our communities are strong and protecting these values and fighting for them in our communities. So how do we do this as UU congregations? What is our work in this moment besides just investing in our strength? Well, I think that Rosemary Watola Traumer is giving us a bit of a list, a bit of a pathway for these times. She's calling us to be like ribs in the body of our country, making a safe space for love and being committed to what's vital. So I see there are 3 ways that we embody this work. Number 1, by being a community of courage. Number 2, by creating sanctuary. And number 3, by being a community of imagination and possibility. I'm going to talk about each of these things. So first, we must grow as communities of courage and resistance, protecting and defending what is vital. This means nurturing a community where we are strengthened and inspired to courage, both collectively and also as individuals. Each of us in our various roles in our communities have ways to not cooperate with authoritarianism and to protect our values of love and justice and pluralism. This means speaking truth plainly in a time of lies and propaganda. It means growing our strength and our partnership in community across our state, both growing our strength as UU congregations, but also growing partnership with frontline organizing happening in our cities. It means learning to take more risks for what we know is right and what we value. It means growing our muscle and deepening our skills to witness and organize against the efforts to dismantle human and civil rights, our Constitution and democracy. We are called to grow our courage and our ability to defend what is vital. Number 2, we're called to create sanctuary, to embody a safe space where love can grow. This means providing protection for those in need in ways that we can in our community and in our neighborhoods. It also means providing respite care and hope for weary souls. We are called in these times to be a sanctuary that nurtures within the walls of our communities and within our own hearts a spirit and practices that proudly proclaims that love is at the center of our faith and that all have inherent dignity and worth and that all are welcome. A community that by its very spirit counters messages of fear and division and acts of injustice with practices of generosity, compassion, connection, openness of mind and heart. We have to bring joy and love and warmth to each other in our community, for we all need respite, right? We all need a place where our hearts can feel safe to just be open and be held in community. Loving one another better in this moment matters. Welcoming one another more fully in this moment matters. Understanding our work as a sanctuary that makes a safe space for love is critical. And then number 3, our congregations are called to be places of possibility and imagination. I love how Rosemary Watola-Traumer says that because the ribs do their work, it allows the heart to float. It's hard to feel our hearts floating in this moment, right? At least for me, it feels weighed down by the challenges of daily life and the challenges of our world. And yet we still need to nurture imagination and possibility, to nurture beauty and art and music and good food and community that helps our hearts float. To be like a garden where we remind ourselves and we show our children that another world is possible. And where together we do the work to plant the seeds and nurture that soil of new possibility, a place to build practices of peacemaking, of inclusion and welcome, to not give up on the dream of the world we need where everyone thrives. We are called to be places of joy for our own hearts and for our children, where we incarnate love and beauty in our lives again, where we care for the earth, where we call ourselves to a future not yet here. Courage, sanctuary, possibility. Together, this is the work we're called to embody in these dangerous times. And to be clear, each of us can't do all of this. We each have different skills to bring, This trio reminds us of how important each of our skills are, how it matters that we find our role, and that we don't all have to have the same role, right? We need bold justice organizers and truth tellers, and we need those who are tending to welcoming space, those who are nurturing our children, holding them in joy and care. We need folks ready to bring delicious food and great music to inspire and strengthen our spirits, right? We need the caregivers, the nurturers, the organizers, the artists, the musicians, the storytellers, the gardeners. We all have a role to play in building a community that together, when we each find our role, embodies more courage, more sanctuary, more possibility. And right now, you all souls, you're in an exciting time. You're ahead of us. We don't kick off our stewardship campaign for a few more weeks down in Bloomington. But I want to share with you that Katie's talked to me about your capital campaign, and it's blown me away. It's so awe-inspiring. You're in a time of growth and building and tending to your space to make it more welcoming. And your stewardship campaign is the opportunity to tend to your ministry and make that stronger. You all are doing phenomenal things. I'm so excited to get to learn from you and see the work that's happening here. And I want to share one more thing about this community and all of our communities. They are a reminder that we together can do far more than any of us could do alone. For this community is miraculous. This community is miraculous. One of our lay leaders said that to our people last year in the stewardship campaign. And he said, we're miraculous not because of some supernatural intervention. We're miraculous because the spirit of care and attention and love that we bring to this place. In a time of destruction, in a dangerous time, the fact that we show up to nurture joy and love and courage and beauty and peace and possibility, this is a miracle. This is a miracle of the human spirit. And this congregation calls us to strengthen that miracle of the human spirit that calls again and again for love, for life, for peace in the face of authoritarians, in the face of war. Showing up for love again and again is a miraculous thing. Showing up for your community is a miraculous thing. We don't know what my script says we don't know what the next few years will hold. We don't know what the next few days will hold. But this we do know, that in the midst of loss and difficulty, UU religious community is life-saving. It's making the difference in our own lives and the lives of our children, protecting what is vital, nurturing what is good, and planting seeds of what yet can be. If there ever were a time to be committed to this faith in your community, now is the time. For this is a place of courage and resistance, of sanctuary and resilience, and above all, our faith is a faith committed to the religious imagination of what is not yet here, but still can be. A place where we feel again the spirit of love move through our bodies, our bones, enlivening us, strengthening us like ribs around our country, ribs around our loved ones, ribs around each other. Calling us to renew and proclaim the beauty of love, of life, and of freedom in this world. May we all keep answering this call in our own congregations and in the ways we build stronger partnership across our state. Blessings to you all and to this community. It is a gift to be together.
This week, as we continue to move toward right relations, we are sharing our offering plate with the Miami Nation Honor Fund. This organization provides non-Indigenous people the opportunity to repair the harm caused by colonization and supports the Miami tribe in sustaining their community and culture. To contribute, you can gift cash or a check into the collection plate, or if online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org, where you can click How to Donate at the top of the page. If you are paying online or using a check, please indicate if your gift is a pledge or for Share the Plate. Thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another and for this world. The morning offering may now be given and gratefully received.
It was such a joy to work with Liz and Nancy and Austin. Thank you to our AV support, Reese, and your fellow AV and tech folks. What a gift. Thank you so much. As we leave this sacred time, in the midst of life's tumult and turmoil, may we still be attentive to its wonder and its beauty. May we kindle more joy, more love, more courage, and more song into our hearts and into our days. May we be led out in peace, and may we give back love. Go in peace, go in love. We sing first, right? Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our postlude, Building a New Way.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. Peace and freed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.